Hello and welcome to the Ladies Gaelic Football Association Research Pod. My name is Dr. Trevor Clossy and I'm from the Galway Mayo Institute of Technology. The title of my presentation today is The Impact of Digital Fitness Apps on Athlete Wellness. Prior to describing the current study, I'd like to draw your attention to the Ladies Gaelic Football Research Pod talk that I gave on a couple of weeks ago. So we did a large study, and the first part of the study was looking at exploring how exercise can lead to enhanced life satisfaction, work performance, and innovation. So that was part one. And the link for that talk can be found below this video here. So the second part of that research was looking at the impact of digital fitness apps and their impact on well-being, on athlete well-being. So this talk will discuss and describe the background, the methodology, and the findings and implications that we found for those athletes that we looked at who were using digital fitness apps while they were exercising and for their routines. But I just said I'd draw your attention to the first video, as it provides further details around the concepts that will be also explained in this video. So this research is based on an article that we got published in a journal by Emerald Publishing in the Journal of Information Technology and People. The article was called How the Social Dimension of Fitness Apps Can Enhance and Undermine Wellbeing, a Dual Model of Passion Perspective. Dr. Owen Whelan from the Department of Business Information Systems, and myself, Dr. Trevor Clossy from the Department of Business Information Systems in the Galway Mayo Institute of Technology, conducted this research and submitted it for review. Thankfully, it was accepted in the Journal of Information Technology and People. This really is a fantastic journal. You know, while many advances have been made in understanding, you know, how technology is being used by organizations and by people, you know, there's a lot of contexts which remain problematic. And, you know, this journal provides perspectives, international and interdisciplinary perspectives, and how you can further your knowledge on the understanding of how technology can be problematic in an organizational setting, but also in people's personal lives. So it was really fantastic that we got it published in there, and there is also a link at the bottom which you can click into to read a copy of our paper in this technology journal. So moving on to kind of the core context of this study, we looked at digital fitness apps, and you know, since 2010 we've seen a rapid growth around the world in terms of adoption and proliferation of fitness apps being used by consumers, but also being used by athletes. In fact, 10% of all apps currently are fitness apps. And with Christmas fastly approaching, we're going to see a lot of more people getting fitness apps as presents. And, you know, fitness apps range from wearable technologies, from Fitbit, from, you know, health monitoring straps that you can put around your waist. I've seen a proliferation of these fitness apps come into the sporting world. When you look at rugby players and those little monitors at the back of their jerseys, which is tracking everything, every physical activity exertion that they're doing on the field. The GPS is tracking their movement. I've seen also amateur athletes in soccer and football getting the personal trackers which you can put into your football boot or the sock to track the power of your kicking, and using the GPS to track your movement, your speed, and the distance that you've run. And with Christmas just around the corner, you know, people will be getting these as presents, and they don't have to be necessarily wearable technologies. A lot of the apps out there at the moment can be downloaded onto your phone also, and can be used to monitor anything from sleep, you know, your amount of steps walked, your daily dietary habits, and so on. And some of these apps are free, and some of these apps are can be paid on an annual subscription or on a monthly subscription. Now, when you look at the research, a number of empirical studies have investigated the altered exercise experience mediated by fitness apps, and largely those studies have positively reported on the health benefits of using these technologies to monitor your physical activity. However, the potential negative implications of fitness apps on, well-being have received limited attention, and that's concerning. We need to know more about how these digital fitness apps impact your well-being from a positive, there's research there, but also from a negative aspect. Furthermore, as many fitness apps are designed to kind of exploit peer pressure. So when I say peer pressure, this is the idea of sharing your workout data in a community through Facebook, through WhatsApp, or, exploit peer pressure through giving virtual praise to someone through a like or through a comment. And, even through recent, the emergence of the lockdowns, we've seen, as a means of community engagement, there's been virtual challenges where people have been encouraged to share their, personal accomplishments, with whether it be 10,000 steps or a 5K virtual race, so they can be put up on leaderboards and encouraged to engage in those challenges. So at the moment, those kind of social aspects of sharing your fitness data has very little research has gone into that, and the social dimension of the fitness apps, it's important because it can enhance or undermine wellness outcomes. And the kind of app that we looked at for the purpose of this study was an app called Strava. Some of you may be familiar with it. So with Strava, it's a fitness app at the center of many cyclists, exercise regime, or an amateur athlete's running regime. It serves also as a kind of a social network for amateur and professional athletes, most of them who are cyclists, runners, or triathletes. So the social element of Strava enables users to log, monitor, and share their fitness accomplishments with others via status updates, comments, and photos. And when you look at how popular Strava is, or a measure of its popularity, it's estimated that Strava has 36 million users worldwide. In 2017, the 1 billionth activity was uploaded and shared on Strava. We kind of selected Strava so we could focus on those social interaction features that it has on its platform, because when you monitor and review the social features they're quite innovative and quite interactive, and there are a lot of really good challenges that you as an amateur athlete can challenge a professional athlete or other members within your community. And Strava, it's basically, those challenges that they have incorporated within the platform are used to encourage users to run or cycle a specific distance each month. And this is the core thing, which I will discuss later. Users are rewarded with the kind of 25, 50, and 75% digital trophies for each challenge. And the completion of other challenges enables users to purchase special prizes. Also, users will receive a weekly email summarizing their fitness activity output for the week. They also receive an email to inform them whether a user has replaced them atop of the leaderboard. So it's quite a really interesting app to sit at the context of our study. So a core element to these digital fitness apps is this concept of gamification, and this is really core to your ability to self-track using your metrics and accomplishments while you're exercising. And many fitness apps rely on gamification and self-tracking to improve well-being by providing functions that support a user's motivation to exercise. So as I previously described in the last slide, apps such as Fitbit and Strava incorporate badges or leaderboards or peer or social community affirmations to seed and sustain motivation. Data can be automatically uploaded to your social media or community news feeds to trigger a user into action. But there's a myriad of research that's coming online that's showing the dark side of fitness tracking and the use of gamification. Research has shown that digital app users have reported by feeling controlled by the gamification features and constantly under pressure to reach target. In one study, they found that Fitbit users felt increased pressure and peer pressure to reach the goal of 10,000 steps per day. And in that study, one user described how that they used to walk the corridors up and down before they went to bed so that they could reach their target of 10,000 steps. There's also other research which has shown that cyclists will adopt risky behavior to beat previous personal bests automatically shared onto platforms. Other studies have shown that while these gamification and self-tracking features can promote enjoyment and motivation using the apps while engaging in the physical activity, it also can foster a sense of overtraining and also can strain family relationships. And I've just thrown up a few screenshots of my exercise routines and some of the challenges that have popped up for me as I've exercised on Strava. On the right hand side there's a badge I've earned, and every week with Fitbit, you're constantly being pushed along these summary of your weekly activities and the accomplishments that you've made. So these are just examples of gamification and self-tracking metrics. There are positives to them, but as I've discussed, there's also negatives associated with them as well. So to examine the impact of digital apps on athletes' well-being, what we did was we operationalized this research model, which looked at the impact of social influence and the intermediate role and the mediating role of exercise passion on wellness outcomes. And the wellness outcome that we chose was life burnout. So starting on the left-hand side in terms of social influence, the three kind of categories of concepts that we chose to measure for our hypothesis were reciprocal benefits, subject norms, and recognition. And when you look at the literature, people have a psychological need to be liked and feel part of a social community. Accepting and conforming to social influence is a primary mechanism for gaining both. People are susceptible to social influence when the community provides them with recognition and reciprocal benefits. The two concepts there. So these two concepts in terms of reciprocal benefits and recognition are kind of, to simply define it, are perceptions of what the technology itself or the digital app itself affords. While the final thing that we looked at was the idea of, or the concept of, subjective norms. And this is kind of relates to the perceptions of other people's opinions about the use of the digital apps. And we created a number of hypotheses, and the mediating concept that we looked at was exercise passion. And if you remember, I discussed this in the first LGFA Research Pod video. People can have two types of passion towards a physical activity. You can have a harmonious passion. This is something you love and you enjoy, and you can stop at any time. It doesn't control you. But you can also have an obsessive passion. So this is a physical activity which takes over your life and usually leads to negative outcomes. And in terms of there are, among the several indicators of psychological well-being, the presence of positive affect, the absence of depression, etc. We focused on life burnout. And in the context of this study, we focused on the definition of where life burnout is defined as a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion that results from long-term involvement in situations that are emotionally draining. So the several concepts are there. We looked at how social influence and how the social, features of these digital apps impacted the passion levels of the amateur athletes, and we looked at 272 amateur athletes and how this impacted their wellness outcomes in terms of life burnout. So some of the core takeaways or highlights from the results of the study. So while fitness sharing apps can help start and sustain exercise routines, our research indicates that some users may develop obsessive tendencies and exercise too much. Athletes who use self-tracking on fitness apps to give support and encouragement to others are more likely to have a harmonious kind of a passion or approach to their exercise, and this ultimately leads to less life stress. However, athletes who use self-tracking digital apps to receive praise and public endorsements for their exercise activities are more likely to develop an obsessive kind of passion or approach to physical exercise and suffer higher life stress over time. Fitness app social features which promote self-recognition, such as posting only positive workout data or photos, can be linked to maladaptive or negative perceptions of exercise and burnout in the long run. And in contrast, fitness app social features that offer support to colleagues' activities are healthier, our study found. So there are a number of implications for athletes who are using digital apps that we have recommend. Now, for the individual athlete, fitness apps can certainly help seed and sustain exercise routines, but there is a danger that some users may develop an obsessive tendencies, and these need to be avoided. Digital app users may be drawn to the app for its social interaction and comparison features, but they need to be aware that these social features can be a double-edged sword. These social features which promote recognition, such as posting only positive workout data or photos, can be linked to negative perceptions of exercise and burnout in the long run. In contrast, these social features which promote reciprocal benefits, such as giving kudos and commenting on, other athletes or colleagues or activities, are likely to lead to positive outcomes. Also, for individuals struggling to begin or sustain regular exercise, we would advise them to try using gamification services like Strava, Fitocracy, and Nike Plus. A passion for exercise and positive outcomes may result. In that case, the user needs to be conscious, however, of the fact that the digital affordances of digital technology and the social features, there is a danger that it may transform exercise passion into a dependency. Our final recommendation then is for app users developing an obsessive, if you find yourself developing an obsessive passion, simply stopping the use of services may not be the best solution. This could eliminate the benefits such services provide in terms of the physical and health benefits. However, a complete ban on technology often results in the user experiencing even more stress. So a possible more advantageous approach could be to limit certain fitness app features, such as detailed performance comparison with peers, but further research is needed in this regard. But as fitness apps are designed to be persuasive, negative practices such as obsessiveness can emerge. And from an ethical point of view, fitness app designers need to draw from, studies like ours and exploit the findings we found with regards to how social influence and social features of these digital fitness apps can promote healthy outcomes. This could be in the form of badges or digital trophies or rewards promoting harmony, for example. And this would be really good when an athlete is not exercising, or even more important, when an athlete becomes injured. This idea of having in harmony badges that they could earn. Another one could be an automatic feature which alerts the user that they're spending too much time with the app, and it's alerting the user to the onset of obsessiveness. Thank you for watching my presentation. If you have any questions in relation to the research presented, please do get in touch. You can contact me on trevor.clohessy@gmit.ie. You can also reach me at Twitter @TrowerC. Thank you for your time.